start off, huh? So you may be saying, hey man, what happened Monday? I'll explain. It's a pretty simple solution to this little problem. I have a buddy. I know I'm just as shocked as you are, but I have a buddy. And as it turns out, he's packing up and he's heading out of town, literally, like out of state. And so it was one last gathering, probably up until the actual move takes place. But we got together, we watched the movie, he cooks. By God, does that man cook? So I had a delightful burger. My boy Hopper is going to be helping me, it looks like, today. My good kitty. I do have tea water on, so I'm going to have to run in a second and grab that. But in the meantime, Hopper's going to keep us company, I'm sure. I want to play a few things. But yes, so it was kind of a send-off. I got my 11 rack back, which is kind of nice. Yeah, he's way out of state, some of you also may be wondering about, Kirk, what's with this rosy complexion? Did you get a sunburn? Well, it certainly feels that way, but no, I'm just niacin flushing right now. Because sometimes, when you don't eat most of the day and you take a niacin, you do this. But if you've eaten and then you take one, it's a little less of a sunburn type of feel. But it's awesome, and I can feel my good cholesterol rising as I feel like I'm being x-rayed continuously at high dosages. Well, at any rate, so we've got topics tonight. I didn't as of yesterday, but I do today. To help me out today, we have the Catocaster. You may notice a slightly different setup. I have moved a few things around. One of the things that I moved is the Ironheart is now over yonder, and the EVH Lunchbox Stealth is keeping us company. The EVH 5153 Stealth Lunchbox. And yes, it's on the clean channel, but why is it so, And if I actually played with a pick that I could hit with, 1 second there. That's better. I just have to recalibrate. A little bit better. Why are we so Yngwie-like tonight? Well, it's this cash cow down here that's got this classic sound. So, of course, we're also going through a Pock verb. We're going through the... I can never remember the name of that thing. The Mega Para, parametric equalizer. And on the end, or the very next thing, in line from the guitar on the chain is, of course, the Keeley compressor. But, only dialed up just a smidge into the mix. And it adds a neat little bit of snipe to the high end. It's very nice. So, guitar projects. Yes, well, so I did a thing, and that thing was successful, mostly. So I took our orange companion back here, which you can't really see. There it is, right there. Yeah, right there. And I decided to add some very, very Dayglow green pickup. So it is a fully neon pumpkin guitar right now. And it's pretty neat, and it sounds pretty good. There is a problem with it, because of course there has to be a problem. You can't just get away with anything scot-free, especially when you buy a set of pickups that are normally $50, which are cheap anyway for $25. And from the sounds of things, they're very microphonic, and it sounds like I'm going to have to grab some paraffin wax and, take them out of the guitar, dip them, vacuum pot them, and then pop them back in, and they should be fine, and the microphonics should be gone, which would be ideal. In the case that doesn't solve the microphonics, well, I've got the Duncans that I pulled out to put those in, and I'll put them right back. But I put those in because they do have a nice sound, and my God, they're green. Aside from that, I have not touched the ESP. That's going to be this weekend. I've got the pickups for them. They are right here. They are ready to go in, and I'm really excited to get those EMGs out. I couldn't possibly be happier to do that. So that's the guitar projects. Now, the other week, Monday, I touched on going into Music 6000. Well, I have a bit of a follow-up to that. So, went into Music 6, and so I could call this the saga continues. Ah, I hear my tea water starting to boil. if I could play it. Sounds like a Saga Continues type of thing, doesn't it? So yes, the saga continues. Where is my guitar? So the Schecter, when I went in the last time, was nowhere to be seen. The one I've got up for consignment, and I saw it today, and it's back in the section behind their counter of their higher classed instruments. So it makes me very happy. So going on with the story. All right, well, where's the Ibanez that I ordered? Well, they are ordered. They're on their way. I don't have an ETA, but I will find out the ETA on Tuesday if they're not already here by that time. So hopefully, not next week, but the week after, I'll be able to, yank, hey, look at this, new guitar, blah, 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 blah. And it should be wonderful. So that's done. I had quite the long weekend, though, in the process of getting here. In the last couple of days of being back at work after the 4-day weekend has been mind-numbingly fast. The last 3 days, I guess. Today's Thursday. My God. Tomorrow being Friday, I actually am going to be there. And holy smokes, man. It absolutely is just pouring through quick as a whistle. So let me say that Friday I did things. A lot of bought food, meal prep. Saturday, the living wake that we've been doing. We had another one of those. Very, very cool. Great get together. And as a token of my cooking prowess, I received these. Yes, look at all that. And they started out, and they don't look good now, but believe me, before they didn't look really good at all. They looked like I had some sort of crazy disease, but no, they're grease burns. And I could tell the story about that 'cause it's kind of funny. You're cooking with a cast iron wok, and they don't lose heat very quickly. So if it starts to smoke, you turn it down a little bit. There's grease in there. All right, smoke stops. Leidenfrost effect. Good steam. All right, great. Grab the onions, throw them in. Poof, goes the onions and the grease. So that was funny. Actually, everything turned out really, really well. So that was nice. Sunday, I kind of vegetated, swapped out pickups on that guitar. Did a little more guitar tinkering on Monday, but most of Monday was spent over at my buddy's house, doing the whole Dune 2, eating burgers and popcorn and letting his big giant dog just beg for food. It was hilarious. This thing is it's a giant meathead, and it's technically a walking statistic waiting to happen. Somebody's going to get eaten by this thing. I just know it's going to be me. But since he's taking him to Arizona with him, it's probably not going to happen. So that's kind of nice. Well, at any rate, that was the weekend. Classically Yngwie. There's a longer form exercise I used to do a long time ago. It's kind of a... But really... Because, when you're a kid, the Yngwie thing is... Even when you're an adult, it's extraordinarily appealing. Hell, I'm going to go see him October 18th. Yeah, that thing. You just pedal tone here off of that. And I think I'm going to have to go and leave this here real quick and pour some tea water. Even though I already have a little bit. Sounds like my dog is getting active too. Don't know what's going on there. It has reached my ears. I shall return. And we will talk about the Countercaster. Oh, yes, we will. It's a thing. And I got another sticker coming for it, too. I work hard so my cats can have a better life. That is true. I ever get monetized, which I probably won't, but if it ever winds up actually happening, I think I'll probably wind up doing shirts that say something to the effect of "I bought this shirt so Kirk's cats could have a better life," or something like that. So. Some of the things. All right, so there was another practice last night. It was a good one. Enjoyed this. So we all got together, and we all, got our gear out, gear down, and walked outside. Shot the breeze for a little while. Kind of caught up and talked back and forth and stuff. Which does lead me to the thing. There's something that I have to cover because I think that on a philosophical level there is a musical discrepancy that I brought up before, but I'd like to really kind of canonize this whole thing, if it's possible, about music tastes and how it's nothing personal. Such a great little sound. Yeah, so anyway, we played a bunch of stuff, and we revisited the whole, which is Satriani's Mystical Potato Head Groove thing. If you have children in the room, ears, somehow garnered the nickname the Mystical Potato Fuck. That's hilarious to me, but I'm just saying. The going on with it though, we did pretty okay on that. I was goofing, that whole. For some reason, I could never remember the part of it, but everything else, oh yeah. Okay. Started with a B, though. And then after that, it was kind of like, all right, most things are okay. Type of thing, I'm still sweeping that. And I think I'm going to continue doing that because it's unexpected. Most people are just like, all right, do the, type of thing. This just doesn't sound the same, does it? Well, if there's any guitar to practice that on, a scalloped fretboard one is certainly the one to practice it on. But I digress. Going on with the story. So we played that. We played a few other things too, which was kind of, they did okay. Well, believe it or not, we're doing the every Guitar Hero's favorite tune, Stairway. And it didn't turn out bad. Hey, you know what? Once again, everybody's like pro level player. Dustin sings absolutely amazing. He plays guitar, I think, a lot better than he thinks he does. And Tim, rock solid bassist. Timmy, excellent drummer. We're all and singer, great pairing of voices. We're very happy about this. But I would like to encourage the gentlemen, should any of them be watching, I think we should take all these vast, disparate musical influences and fuse them into something that's unique and new and different. And even if it's just a studio project, which is kind of where we're at, I think we should create. And that's where we're really, going to find our unique voice together, is in the creation of things. So I'm going to start making stuff. And I would love if these guys would go like, oh, well, I like this, but let's change this and do the va. Okay, well, we'll do the va. And we'll change that. Oh, wow, I can sing this over it. Well, sing that over it. Oh, I like the lyrics? Well, we can change the lyrics. We'll sing about a box, and we'll sing about what's inside the box. But as it turns out, it's not pickups or head of your wife, if you watch Seven. It's a kitten. Hey, well, whatever, just fill in the blank. We don't know yet, but that's the whole thing. It's pretty neat. Afterwards, we shot the shit again. It was pretty freaking great. Took off. I didn't get home at 11:30 this time. I didn't stop and eat anywhere. I got home a little after 10. And that's pretty good, gotta say. Got up this morning, had a business meeting. Holy crap. I've been go ever since. I get home, there's a traffic jam on the way, good grief. But I finally get home, I eat something, put my guitar stuff back up, in a little bit different order this time. And, hot dang, put the tea water on. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stream a little and kind of catch up. So, in the meantime, that's that. I'm pretty darn happy about, this. And, as it turns out, I'll be hanging out with Dustin a bit more often. That'd be the singer. The other guitarist as well. If I keep going, I'm not going to be happy about that. If I want to play on a clean, maybe I should play on a clean. That's where I'm kind of weirdly feeling that right now. A little better. It's a very interesting. How thin a sound can I get out of this? It's not quite single coil. Yeah, well, at any rate. So let's clarify a little bit. So I've talked often about like elitism in especially like blues forms, classical or not classical, but like classic rock blues forms, and how I think the mind of the people who listen to those are a bit on the more close side. This is not just limited to that kind of music, but it tends to be. And studies have actually shown that metalheads have usually the widest variety of music as far as under their belts that they listen to on the regular and enjoy than most people who just listen to like pop music stuff that's been pushed by corporations or on the radio. But again, it's not an indictment against the person. It's statistics, and I think the terms "facts don't care about your feelings" kind of goes along with, well, you know what? Feelings don't care about somebody who has facts either. And this is just something that needs to be understood, that if you look at it in the way that they're looking at things, that a person takes personal offense a lot of times when stuff like, if they bring up something like a song that they like, really, and a person disputes whether or not it's a good song, and says it in this way, I don't like it. Well, when you say you don't like something, it's kind of like, some people don't like carrots. Some people don't like Brussels sprouts. And it's not an indictment against the cook. It's like you didn't even cook this. Somebody else cooked it. You said, hey, you ate carrots. And I say, I don't like carrots. What's wrong with carrots? You see? it shouldn't be taken that way. It should just be like, all right. I mean, really, it's that level to me. It's you know, hey, look, I for lunch today, which was dinner as well, I ate slices of what is that, cooked ham with some cheese, some nice hard white crumbly cheese, and a grapefruit. Somebody says, "Oh, I don't like grapefruit." It doesn't affect me at all. Okay, I won't feed you grapefruit is my response. You know, that kind of, it's all right. You don't like grapefruit. It doesn't matter to me. So with songs, it's the same type of thing. Something was brought up by a person last night regarding like Pearl Jam and a song called Black. And I'm like, I don't like it. And he was like, you got to open your mind. See, now that to me is a problem because it's almost like pushing something. You know, it's like, I don't like carrots. I like carrots if they're cooked and with some sugar. you know, in other words, you know, caramelized carrots. But generally speaking, I don't like carrots. It's not an indictment. Once again, I don't need to open my mind. You need to open your mind to the possibility that there are other people. And yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Well, if you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. But this will be settled out tomorrow. I get to go over to his house and you know, hang out for a while, play some guitar with him. So that'll be cool. But you know, I wanted to express that it's literally just, you know, music tastes. And whether you like something has no bearing as to whether somebody else likes it. It has no bearing at all to you, and vice versa to the other person. In fact, it's one of those things where you shouldn't care. This isn't a fightable thing, you know. Well, this isn't like I mean, people get riled up over sports. I'll never understand why. It's a topical thing. I don't even know why you like, you know, let's say the Mariners because I'm up here in Washington State. But you know, why do you like the Mariners so much? They haven't done anything spectacular since 1995. You fight for them like their family. It has no, there's no connection to reality to me with that. There's just nothing. It's nothing there. So when it comes to music, though, you know, I could say in return to the open your mind type of thing to it. It's like, right, fine, open your mind to Asphyra Heim Symphonia. Learn all the guitar parts to that, and you get back to me about having an open mind. You know, listen to The Principle of Evil Made Flesh. You know, Cradle of Filth. Listen to oh shoot, man, freaking. Let's just go through some albums. Yeah, seriously. Let me just grab my archive here and grab something obscure and that's unlistenable to the common pop person. And we'll say, yeah, you listen to this and you tell me about who has the open mind. So for one, listen to Bella Fleck and the Flecktones. You know, anything. Who has the open mind? Listen to, in other words, that's an insult to me. Tell me to open my mind to something like that. I do take that personally because I think that you're coming at it from way the wrong angle. And if somebody says they don't like something, you know, it's not my fault. Screw you. So, yeah, I'm a little angry about it. You can tell. This is the one thing. Of course, I can get angry at some stuff, but as far as like logical dumb, I mean, I'm not attacking. It's just like I'm not attacking you or your mother. You know, I didn't insult anybody. This is actually a way to make me angry. To say, man, come on, you just got to have an open mind about it. I've listened to it, which is why I know I don't like it. It's kind of like, you know, I've eaten food and realized that I don't like this food, and so I don't make the food anymore. There are other people. So, but yeah, death and beyond. Yeah, okay, you listen to some Borknagar. You listen to some Amon Amarth. You listen to Appalachian Winter, because that's actually kind of interesting. You know, Deicide. God dang, yeah. Listen to Satan Spawn Keiko Demon. Listen to you know, Gehenna's Malice album in full. How about Samael? I've got a couple albums from him that I think is absolutely fantastic. And I'm not talking about the rapper. We're talking about like Ceremony of Opposites there and Earth. Nile. Oh, yes. Go listen to Nile. And Black Seeds of Vengeance. Have a great day. You get back to me about George Kalias' amazing abilities on bass drums. And then we'll have a talk about who's got the more open mind. Dude, come on. That's just, you know, okay, now let's go listen to power metal. Go listen to Anvil Chorus. Go listen to Labyrinth. Go listen to freaking Angra. All right, how about some regular old rock? Well, we mostly listen to the regular old rock, but, you know, that's fine. All right, let's move on from there, though, and let's go to a happy place. How about some jazz? I really like the guitarist Izzy Rosin. He's an amazing guitar player. Emily Remler. God rest her soul, an amazing guitar player and taught a lot of stuff too. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be playing things like, you type of stuff. Not a chance. Not a chance. The Jacques Lussier Trio, he actually gets a lot of flack because he basically is just a jazz trio playing Bach. Wes Montgomery, listen to Wes Montgomery. Listen to Pat Metheny. That's kind of a hard listen sometimes, but you can do it. Alex Skolnick Trio, that's much more rock-friendly type of thing, but it's very cool. Listen to some Joe Pass. Now let's go into the classical music. Listen to Jacques Hautetiere. Listen to Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach. CPE Bach. Listen to Johann Christian Bach, which is a little more on the Mozart side of things. Listen to George Philipp Telemann. Listen to listen to some Dvorak. Listen to we're going beyond the Baroque era. Listen to some Dvorak. Listen to some just listen to all this stuff. And then come back to me. Oh, and listen to a lot of 80s pop tunes. And come back to me. And let me know that you have a more open mind than I do. Because you also listen to the one other thing. God damn, it's like food. It's like tasting food. Get over it. So, and I will too now, and we'll get on to other things that are more fun. So, things that I've been practicing. But I didn't let it bug me at the time. But it festered. Working on fives. It's kind of a nice thing, isn't it? Fives are fun. But that's just stuff. But no, things that I've been working on. How about yeah. Fun. In fact, there's a nice little exercise in that. Andy Summers is one of the greatest guitar players you'll ever hear. Even if you don't think he is. He adds an amazing amount of textural and melodic elements to the Police that you can follow along with. And I do mean this, really as like homework. Follow along at home. This has got some, he's the perfect guitar player for a band because he doesn't overdo it. All he does is contribute and literally add to the totality of the music that they're producing. So he doesn't overdo his guitar parts. This, that, for instance. You can also play it. Then D. So you got a nice 6. And you're just outlining a major. So it's A major here. This... And he downpicks this. Yeah, that's E. How did that go? No, F. It is F. Very great. There's nothing overdoing it at all about any of his parts. Message in a Bottle, notwithstanding, all of his tracks, great stuff. He's one of my favorite guitarists of all time. And the funny thing is I only own Synchronicity too, but I've kind of heard his playing all my life, and it's been a real influence on the way I approach writing music. I don't write like the dominant riff. That's just not in me. It's like, okay, you've got a thing. Let me play something over it. Yeah. Let me add textures. that G string. There we go. And the B. Let's diminish that. Ah, finally. Sunburn feeling is starting to kind of abate a bit, which is very nice. So anyway, now that that rant is out of the way, and tell you how I've been kind of practicing things that I'm not supposed to. Oh, there's another one. It's not C. And I'm not, it's funny. I've been practicing this, and I'm playing it wrong all the time. It's actually really simple, but there's a trick to it. The letting go in time and still letting the notes ring appropriately. So these are things that I'm not going to be playing, on like covers or anything like that, but we are covering it just to kind of get to know each other better. So it's pretty neat. But there's another one that's coming up, and I'm pretty excited about it. How is this sounding? Sounds angry. But we should be doing this. The center of the universe. Absolutely fantastic. But now we're doing a Sabbath cover I'm pretty happy about because I've been playing it since I was 15. I don't have to relearn it. I already know it. It's War Pigs. So that's nice, and there's a few of us that are pretty much looking forward to that. And I've got a ding. What is this ding here? You're fan. Stop watching and start practicing, Tim. Stop watching and stop practicing. LOL. LOL should be a word, by the way. It should be called lol. So yeah. Anyway. That was a bass player, by the way. The only other person I think watching this channel right now. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate your patronage. But yeah, so hey, man, if you can get past my little rant there, man, everybody's got something that's a trigger, like rubs them the wrong way and it makes them go like, oh my god. So because it gets them thinking. You already heard mine. That's pretty much it. I think that's about all I've got. It's just you tell me I've got a closed mind. I'll just tell you I've got a closed mind. But at any rate, yeah. So and I do find humor in the whole thing too. But yeah, so Dustin and I are going to be getting together like once a week and going over guitar parts. So that's actually kind of cool. And we're starting that tomorrow, Friday, and as of next week, it's going to be like Thursdays. So that's going to be a cool thing. Because, like I said before, I think he can play a lot better than he says. And he definitely knows theory. He tries to talk himself down from saying, I don't know theory, and then he all of a sudden can just do chord spelling. How do you not know theory and you know how to spell chords? All right, well, this is a major 9. This is a this, this is a that, blah, blah, blah. Well, what notes does that have? And it's a flat 3 and a sharp 4 and okay, well, he knows what he's talking about. But maybe he means what Marty Friedman means, that he can't read music. But I can barely read. I can kind of I can sort everything out. Like if I look at a page long enough, I'm like, all right, these are sharped. All right, so we're gonna keep 1 sharp. All right, fine. What's that? I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out. Here's the notes. Oh yeah, we're this. So so it's as simple as that. 1 sharp. That's I think it's G. So all right, cool. Well, let's get on with the story though. So let's talk about coaching, mini goals, bigger picture. So I had an idea about talking about how to learn songs. Thanks, Tim. About how to learn songs. And I think the thing about learning songs that some people overlook is that. And I'm actually not talking about the guys that I'm playing with, so I'm going to disambiguate that now. This is for the beginning student type of folks. But I've seen a cover or two recently which left me a little flat. Not in the sense that, I don't think they did a good job. I mean, they have, in some cases, very ferocious picking hands, but there's some stuff that's left out that I think is kind of important. And this has been a long-standing argument for me, like, vibrato. If you're hearing things like that, and you hear vibrato, there's a reason you should be playing the vibrato if you hear them do it. And if you're not quite sure how, like if it's a tapped thing, I would be happy to make a video and help you with that. Always shake from the left hand, for instance. But if you're hearing vibrato, you should probably try to actuate, your fingers. No matter how fast and furious the vibrato is, you should be doing it. But to learn a song, there's a whole lot of different ways of doing it. But one of the best ways that I've found in my time of, especially the last 4 years of learning pretty much everything by ear, is to take the piece as a whole, especially if you're not totally familiar with it. Try to take the piece as a whole. Now, interest is a thing. So if you're not interested in something, it's going to be a lot harder for you to learn it. And you got to try to figure out how to be interested in the thing. And that's a trick unto itself. But let's say you're already interested in it. So I think it's best to start out big picture and then get granular. So great example of this would be like... So I was teaching a buddy of mine about how I go about learning things, and this is kind of a thing about that. About 2 or 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I made a small video. I did not publish it, but privately sent it to him. Say, here you go. And all that really covered was I try to take bigger picture and then get smaller chunks as I go. But if you can flesh it out and get this in your mind, is like you're looking at a picture of something and it's blurry, but you get a general shape. And then you take that general shape and you try to sharpen the image as you go along. You're getting more and more detail as you go. And one of the final things that really should be, hammered out, of course, is the nuance. Like, all right, when they definitely downstroke here, that's an upstroke. Is he playing this actually on the G string? I mean, you can get that kind of detail along the way. But, oh, listen, there's vibrato here. I didn't catch that before. Well, how's he doing this after this really quick run? Oh, I see. It must be done with the pinky or something like that. But, you can do all that kind of after the fact. But when you're doing something large scale, so let's just say you're getting the general song structure, and you could do it with if you're learned in this kind of matter, you can do it like the A, B song structure type of deal. Or you could, just kind of think about it as like verse chorus, like, normal neophytes like myself, I would say, because I'm still just a listener. I would, this is the verse, chorus, bridge, type of thing. Okay, a lead break. Roughly how long does it go? It's very good to be able to count bars, but that's just the general gut of it. You get that down first, and then you kind of just get myopic. You start going, all right, finer details. Like, all right, am I playing the right chord here? Let us take Hendrix for an example. That. I'm going to get it off of that channel. I very much like this better. Would fit this better. Well, is he playing that? Or is he playing this? Well, it does sound to me more like this. Or is it this? Like, or is it? So you can start, messing around with the details. Where's that shape? Is it this inversion, or is it this one? Same notes. With me and my perpetual oopsies. There we go. See how bad that is? Much better. So, so something else really neat with scalloped fretboards is if you push too hard, listen to this. So you can really squeeze the notes, to death. It's very nice. But if you hit that just right, there we go. Just a little more. squeeze. How Yngwie. There's a right way and a wrong way, you know. And the Yngwie. So, on with the show, though. The whole thing about that is that I think you know, for like the beginner guitarist, the best advice, like I was saying, I could give in learning a song is to not. Again, there's a lot of different ways of learning things. There's, you know, learning materials that are out there that are widely available. Tabs. I highly encourage you to stay away from it because, just generally speaking, tabs are kind of a way of stunting your growth. Again, this is the mimic game. If I were to talk to you and say, "Hey, how you doing?" and I say, "Okay, say exactly what I said back to me," and you said, "Hey, how you doing?" I'd be like, "Right, you're on the right track." Now, if I go like this, and I say, "Play that back to me," and you go, I'm like, "Yep, I can teach you nothing. You've got it all, no problem as far as mimicry is concerned." And then I would start saying things like, "Now make something up on your own." But this is where guitar tag comes in and whatnot. But the whole thing is, if you just kind of go like, "I don't know what you did. Do you have tabs for that?" I'm like, "I just played it for you." Yeah. Use your eyes, use your ears mostly, because it's music and it's an audible form, and listen to what it is that I did. What does it sound like I did to you? And if you know something completely different, but it still sounds cool, you know, that's great. You're not playing what I played, but it's getting you kind of in the feeling. This is what I was saying about, you know, large scale and then condensed down to like the finer resolution. So if I'm just... Fine. What's the approximate length of that? All right, now figure something out that's like that. It's fine. It's you. It's yours. It's unique. It's different. It's not what I did, but it's the thing. Okay, I'm good with that. Why? Because you're making it up as you're going along. You're contributing to music in a different way. You may have discovered something that's never been discovered before. Actually, there's 12 notes, really, you know, and you just wash, rinse, and repeat those 12 notes throughout the octaves that are available to us. But nonetheless, you've created something different. And one of the reasons why it's different is because it's yours. It's not exactly what I played, which is great. But if the name of the game is to learn something that the other person did, and in this case that's what it is, then all right, you don't have it quite right. How can you change what you did to make it quite right? All right, so if you hear the note kind of bend up, all right, well, find where that sounds like it started. No. Oh, that almost sounds right. It's not, but it sounds almost right. All right, that's good. And even if you started it from here, that's excusable. That's almost rockabilly. But nevertheless, or extremely long-winded country. But, you know, it's something that can be done. It's something you can do. So, but that's it. Start large picture. All right, so... Okay. Do things like that. But again, big picture, refine, listen to it again, kind of hone in where it is. All right, there's a bend here. You heard those, that's great. Now this, okay, you can do that, but that's not where it was. And if it sounds different than what you're hearing, it makes kind of this funny little racket, bend it back a little bit. And one of the things that I heard a long time ago that I think is one of the best things that a piece of advice that I got as far as like where things sit in a beat or with your ear is, you know, with notes, is if you can make the original note and your note kind of blend together so you can't tell them apart. And so for the beat itself kind of disappears if you're on, you know, if you're playing it exactly where the beat is. And that's kind of nice. It doesn't disappear, you know, it's not gone, but you know, your constructive interference kind of, you know, blends it all together into a mishmash. So if you're playing with a metronome, which you should, and you're really hitting the You know, if you're doing it all in the right rhythm, those clicks of the metronome will blend in exactly. You won't hear them before or after. If you start hearing them kind of prominently, you're probably not playing directly on them. And the same goes for when you're figuring notes out. So if I'm playing this and you're figuring it out that it's a B, that's going to sound like this. You know, so you're going to hear a dissonance. But if you hear the together, it's a consonant. This is a unison sound, a unisound. Just like that's why they call these unison bends. It's one sound. Instead, you'll hear a dissonance, and you'll be all like, something's not quite right. All right, well, go flat. No, that's not it. Go sharp. There you go. A lot of times you're just kind of one note off from where the right notes are. But I mean, look, back in the day, I was hanging around kids, and I mean kids because I was a kid, 15, 16 years old, that was figuring out stuff like Enter Sandman. And it's 1991, so I guess I was, it could have been 1990. We'll say 1991 for the sake of argument. So I was about 17. Learning Enter Sandman instead of, it was like, or, now that's really close. You could even fake it if you wanted to, but nevertheless, they were way off. It was, but when you hear it right, you hear it right. I mean, everything just kind of gels and fits together, and it's good. So the one cover that I heard recently was a Death cover, and it was actually performed very well as far as the rhythms are concerned. There was an awful lot of like picking hand ferocity that I kind of wish I could get back because I can't play like that anymore. And well, at least not now. I can't play like that. But a lot of there was a lot of leaps and bounds taken, when the leads were played. Some of them were played, licks wise, pretty well. Which is my argument against most YouTube guitarists, and I mean most of them. There's a lot of really good ones out there that I don't have any complaints about, but there are some where you hear them and you go, oh, okay, so you spend all your time just learning how to play scalular runs, and not how to stop them. Stopping is more important than the runs themselves. If not equal importance, at least give them equal weight, because, at the time you're not spending playing is the time you're spending stopping whatever it is that you did and making a point with it. So I think that's kind of important. But notwithstanding. So let's see here. I got problems with drivers out there. It was Festivus for the rest of us. Semi-rant. Washington State drivers are fun. Washington State drivers. What was I going to say? So I call them douchebag drivers. Not all of Washington State drivers, but there's a class of drivers out there. And I've talked about the pass holes. In my case recently, especially recently, the last 5 years, it's been running into this problem with people who have like older generation headlights that decide to just leave them on brights because they're getting even with the people who have naturally brighter headlights because they came with the vehicle, or they decided to get aftermarket headlights that were around $500 for the pair. And no, believe me, those are crap people, because if you have to wear sunglasses at night in order to not be blinded by the lights that are coming at you, this is a problem. And lights, I think, generally on a lumen level are way too bright anyway. Look at me, I'm yelling at a cloud right now. But anyway, the things that I've been having most problems with lately are the turn signal folks. And even Paul Gilbert noticed this when he moved to the Pacific Northwest, and he lives in Portland now, I think still. But if you're writing a song called "Everybody Use Your Goddamn Turn Signal," that's a testimony that there's a problem. It's not just Washington State, but generally the Pacific Northwest drivers have a real problem with this thing. I'm free. I'll just get over to whatever lane I'd like. I don't have to use a turn signal. They wouldn't last 5 minutes in Germany because they don't do anything that's outside of the law. Apparently, weird folks. But the whole thing with that is that I think we're talking about. I mean, really, a class of folks that, if we were to use like the D&D alignment grid, these guys would be chaotic, fill in the blank. Probably chaotic good, maybe. Chaotic neutral, definitely. Chaotic evil, can't really say. But we can say that by not using your turn signal, you're a jerk. Heck, man, I even got cut off by a cop the other day. Yeah, they just wanted to get off. I mean, they could have got behind me. No, they had to get right in front of me. And, of course, I hand gestured and like blah, 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 at them as I'm going out. As I decide to pass them because they're jerks. And all he did was go like this and return. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're the asshole. But nevertheless. So the linkers are a problem. Another one that we have up here a lot, linkers I didn't even discuss yet. Linkers are the guys that are kind of partial pass holes, but they never pass you. They're the ones that are going like 2 or 3 miles an hour over the speed limit, up to 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, pull up behind you in the traveling lane, because we have a passing lane on the left. And they get up right behind you and they stay there. And if you speed up, they speed up. If you slow down, they slow down. So there's a trick with these guys. You slow down on the freeways. We have speed limits roughly on the Olympia I-5 corridor area of about 60. They will not pass you until you get down to about 45 miles per hour. But that's the trick. You got to slow down and just be a jerk because they're being a jerk. And you just slow down, slow down, slow down. But these are the kind of folks that don't understand that you can just pass people, I guess. They don't understand that. But yeah, slow down to 45. And you can almost see them visibly go, huff as they go ahead and they pass you. It's fun. But they're my friend now. So I'm just going to go ahead and slow down. And, you're going to stick behind me. That's fine. If you need somebody in front of you in order to drive normal, that's fine. We'll just go slow. And but they eventually pass and it's fun. But lane campers. We're supposed to not get into the passing lane, which is the far left lane, and not pass somebody else. We're not supposed to just hang out there. It's not free and open road. We have lanes for a reason. The lane campers are the guys that'll go 60 with everybody else in the passing lane instead of going like 62, 65, 70 to get around whoever it is that you need to get around because they're either driving erratically in the speed or they're driving erratically or maybe their truck stinks because, they're a diesel. But it's not my problem. It's just, what, we're going to pass. But they're holding up the rest of the traffic. Now, police even will argue that this is dumb because it's their job to stop you if you're speeding, if they're trying to hold everybody else up because they're making sure people drive the speed limit. This is the Dolores Umbridge approach to making people follow the rules and regulations. You're being a jerk, and nobody likes you as a result of this, unless people are going to want to do. All you're doing is making an aggravating situation. People are probably going to do stupid things to try to get around you at some point, and it doesn't matter, what happens. Technically, it's your fault because you're the one driving them nuts by driving too slowly in a lane that is designated for passing slower traffic. You should be, and you're not passing anyone. Get the hell over. Let people pass that need to pass. So, and no, I don't drive aggressively. I drive assertively. I drive like I'm trying to go somewhere. But nevertheless, these are problems that I've noticed. But those, the linkers, I think, are some of the worst. It's the first time I noticed linkers was like 30 years ago. And this is a long-standing phenomenon. It probably exists in more than Washington State, but I'll tell you what, if you get up here, you're going to run into them. And also, for some reason, we've lost our minds with the ability to zipper merge. Nobody knows how to do that up here. They even teach you that in class. Some of the first things you learn about is zipper merging. But nobody does it. Let the person in. They have every right to be there too. It's their highway. Probably. It's mine. It's theirs. Probably. We all have the right tabs and everything like that. But... So, I'll get off of that. I like to play sixths. Thirds. Six is a third, after all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or that is an octave different. Major third. 6. Third. Same thing. Just an octave different. So anyway, you play a 6, you're playing thirds. Isn't that cute? So... But it's a neat hand exercise. Especially if you're... See, it's neat. It depends on what you're going for, but This would be, D major. And, mix and match, because the thirds and the sixth, they just work really well together in the harmony department. I've thought about getting a Chapman stick. The whole, idea of doing all the left-handed stuff appeals to me. I haven't done that in a while, though. These, that I've done. But the practicing scales. No, I haven't done that. But quiet chat tonight. Maybe I'll just play for a while. It's almost time for me to get out of here anyway. Talking about retirement. Weren't really talking about retirement. I'm going to talk about retirement. I don't understand people. Tim, I understand you. But I just don't understand people that are worried about retirement because they don't have anything to do. I have things to do. I want to play. Liked Indiana 9. Cut that, move it. Oh, that was weird. I should have stuck with that. And you know, you're always only one wrong note away from being in the right place. Ah, nice. Now, there's a couple of different ways to do that. So if we're going from a major and modulating out to another major here, in this case, so, excuse me, so, yes, that's it, F. Well, we could also do it in a different fashion. The major, which is not how I was doing it. How was I doing that? I don't know. Ah, maybe that was it. No, wasn't. I lost it. Doesn't matter. But what I was saying, though, is that if you do decide to do kind of a type of thing, you could do augmented. Which is not often a swept. Notice it's stacked major thirds. So major third, major third, major third, major third, major third, major third. Boy, it would be great if being in the military and somebody actually be major third. That would be hilarious to me, but fantastic. So at the same time. So yes. No. And this works pretty well, you know, kind of a back and forth. It depends on what kind of sound you want to get, of course. Well, sorry for my hideous playing this evening, and thank you for listening to my rants and crap. But it is the time of the bed, fast approaching, at least resting my head for the evening. And waking up tomorrow and having another spastically crazy-ass day. Hope you guys have a great night. Be well out there. And goodbye.